Hi there everyone. So today we are going to talk about graphing inequalities, or in other words, drawing graphs of inequalities. So we are going to go straight to an example and I'll show you the steps to go about doing this. Okay, so we start with the first example. Graph and shade the region that satisfies the inequality y is less than or equal to x plus 2. Alright, the first step is to change the inequality sign. In this case, it's less than or equal to sign to equal sign. And why do we do that? Well, we need it to use it here to help us find the values of y that will go in the table of values. Okay, first step done. Now we do the second step, which is substituting the x values to complete the table of values. Now for this level, I'm explaining this to grade 10 maths. So at this time, the x values will be provided. Okay, here we have x values from -3 all the way to +3. They are given. We have to find the y values by following step 2. Alright, so let's do it for the first x value. Our equation from up there is y equals x plus 2. Now we substitute the first x value, -3, in place of x. So -3 plus 2 gives us a y value of -1. So this y value is corresponding to x is -3 and it goes in the table under -3. We do the same for the second x value, which is -2. We substitute it into our equation in place of x. So y is -2 plus 2, which gives us a y value of 0, which goes in the table. And the next one, when x equals -1, we substitute it into our equation. So -1 plus 2 gives us +1, and we plug it in here. And we do the same for x equals 0, where we get y equals 2, put it in the table. We do it for x equals 1, and we get y equals 3. And we do it for x equals 2, and we get y equals 4. And the same with x equals 3, where we get y equals 5. Now this table with values of x and y gives us the coordinates where we will use to plot points on our graph on a Cartesian plane, and then we connect them to draw a straight line graph. So this is the x coordinate and this is the y coordinate of one single point. Okay, let's plot each of these points onto our graph. So first of all, you have to draw your Cartesian plane with an x-axis, which is a horizontal line, and a y-axis, which is a vertical line. On the lines, you draw your scales, mark your scales, and the scales must be multiples of a number. For example, if you want to choose multiples of 1, then you should go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth. If you want to choose multiples of 2, you choose 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so forth. Well, your scale will have to depend on the values from your table. Like here, I have -3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 for the x, and then -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So I can use multiples of 1 on my scales, going 1 unit apart. Alright, after drawing my x and y axis, Now I plot each of these points in the plane. So first point has an x-coordinate of -3. So going across the x-axis, this is -3. The corresponding y-coordinate is a -1. So coming down, align with -1, and this should be the first point from the table. The next point is x is -2 and y is 0. So identify x is -2 on the x-axis here, and the y-axis 0. So this is the second point. Next point has the coordinates x is -1 and y is +1. So on the x-axis you identify -1, horizontally and vertically identify +1. Put your mark there, and you do the same for the rest of the points from the table. And as you can see, the points are lining up in a straight line, so that gives you a picture of how your straight line will look like. Alright, before you draw the straight line, remember we are talking about inequalities here, so there will be two types of lines, and it will depend on the inequality sign here. Okay, so step number 3 says plot points and join the points to draw the graph, which is a straight line graph. Now the graph will be two options. If you have less than or equal to or greater or equal to, your line should be bolded. In other words, if you see this equal to sign present, then your line should be bolded, or in other words, it should be continuous like this. On the other hand, if there is no equal to sign in the inequality symbol, so you have just less than or greater than, then your line should be dotted like dash dash, breaking in parts. Now according to our question, we have y is less than or equal to, so our line is a bolded line, or you can say it's a continuous line. Now this line gives the equation, take note, equation of y equals x plus 2. Now inequalities have graphs that are called regions, which is made up of a line and a shaded part on the Cartesian plane. So let's see where we shade. So step number 4, where we shade the region. Again, it depends on the inequality sign. If you have greater than or equal to or just greater than, then you shade the region above the line. And if you have less than or equal to or less than, then you shade below the line. Take note here, the emphasis here is on the greater than or less than. If you have greater than, you shade above. If it's less than, you shade below. Now back to our question. We have y is less than or equal to x plus 2, therefore we shade below the line. So this shaded region is from the in equation y is less than or equal to x plus 2, and it gives all the solutions, meaning all the values of x and y you can get from this inequality. Now for practice, you can try out these 4 questions. Okay, you can put the video on pause and copy the questions down and then practice drawing the graphs of those four inequalities. Take note, the x values are provided. For each question, you use values from -3 to +3. That is all for now. If you like my channel, give it a thumbs up, press the like button, and subscribe, for I will be uploading more videos on maths, especially PNG Grade 10 SBC content. Bye for now.